Hello and welcome to the Pokemon shop. Is there something you are looking for in particular? Okay. Oh, trust me, I get it. So when I first started looking into Pokemon, I had no idea what I was doing. Okay, I didn't know any of the characters, and my now husband got me into playing the game. So I saw the game a while ago and I was like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued, and then I got hooked. So I have some binders here that we can go over just to give you like a simple rundown on, the game itself. Now it is different than like Pokemon Go, or there's other games that you can play on your phone where you can just like open packages. But we do have some like sets, we have decks, and we have some other Pokemon stuff if you would like to just browse around, or I can kind of just show you a rundown of the game and you can decide maybe if you want to build a deck, because we have here these decks are specifically used, or these cards, are used to build decks. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can go over that as well. So who got you into Pokemon? Okay. Oh, that's so fun. So yeah, I play with my kids and my husband sometimes. So no, I absolutely think that's a great idea. So let me go ahead and give you a rundown, and then I will show you particularly like something I put together just for like my decks, because I'm going to be honest, you might choose a favorite. My favorite is grass. I don't know why. I think it's just because I love nature. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at some binders first, okay? And then I'll show you my little book that I put together, and then we can kind of go from there and decide what you want to do, yeah? Okay, let's begin. Alright, so we have here, let's start here. We have normal, fire, water, electric, grass, ice, fighting, poison, ground, which these two I get mixed up quite a bit, flying, psychic, bug, rock, ghost, dragon, dark, steel, and fairy. Okay, so before we get into the next section here, sorry, words got cut off here, but if you look, you will see you need 20 Pokemon cards, 20 energy cards, and 20 trainer cards in a full deck, okay? So when it comes to Pokemon cards too, you're going to have cards that are basic, and then stage 1, stage 2, and then it even advances from there. And there are some decks that mix, so you can have decks that have both like water and ground, or electric and ground, or electric and grass. It's up to you. I typically like to stick with one type at a time, but that's just me. Okay, and then trainer cards, we will go in to more detail about that in a little bit. These are kind of what is in your deck that helps you throughout the game, okay? So now, let's go ahead and let's look at the weaknesses. So every Pokemon has a weakness, okay? So normal, its weakness is fighting, fire, water, ground, rock. Water, its weakness is electric and grass. Grass, its weakness is fire, ice, poison, flying, and bug, and so on and so forth. Okay, you will learn this as well as you go. But it is good to keep in mind, like it says here in Pokemon weaknesses, or weakness means a certain type of attack deals double damage, so 2 times the amount, but to a Pokemon of that type, if a Pokemon has 2 types, a weakness in both results in quadruple damage. Times 4, okay? And this kind of gives you like a visual, okay, of each one and its weakness, okay? now as we move forward, again, this is something that you're going to kind of learn as you go. But these are just key battle mechanics. Some types take 0 damage from specific types, and you'll see that in like different cards that we will look at in a little bit, okay? Then you have dual type and special cases, okay? And again, we will look at some from my personal deck. Now, this is a lot. I don't want you to have to read through all of it, okay? What I'm trying to do here is just give you a little idea. So there are rules, and again, if you are going to be playing against someone or playing with someone that already knows this, then you can just kind of skim through it a little bit if you would like, and you can also look it up online. But I think as you play, you'll learn as you go, okay? But just, you know, deck rules, partner, type identity, deck constructions, card rules, okay? So it's just a lot of information that we have available just in case anyone wants to come in and just learn how to play on their own, because you can also play online and whatnot. So as we move forward from that, let's go ahead and look at what I put together, and then we can go into a little more detail. Oops. So I'm going to set this aside here. We'll bring over a booklet that I actually put together myself and I made. Okay, so these are all grass Pokemon, okay? And what I did was I did, you know, the strongest to the weakest. And then we have energy cards, right? I don't have trainer cards in here, but we will go over that, okay? So here we have VMAX, and then we also have some that are just basic, but their HP is still pretty high. So that's basically like you do damage, so you take away from here, okay? And then if you look like down here, this you need, like example, you need 3 energy. Okay, you need 3 of these to do 90 damage to your opponent, all right? And then you need 4 of these, and this little guy here, that just means, this one, the little star, that just means normal. You can have normal energy to go with this as well. So it can be any energy. This guy, you can use any energy, okay? So let me find one though, because there's one in here that's my absolute favorite. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy, okay? I have 3 of these, and I always have them in my decks because, okay, hear me out. It says flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage for each heads. So it already does 60 times. So whatever, how many energy you have, that's how many times you can flip the coin. So I typically try to have so much energy. So the basis is to have like 20, 20, 20, but sometimes I'll have like 25 energy and less cards, but you're really not supposed to. You're supposed to have 60 cards, but I kind of like do what I want. So then you can see like this little guy here, he is a stage 1, so you would need the basic to go with that. I know it can be kind of confusing, I'm so sorry, but like maybe we'll get into like actually putting together a possible deck for you today. Okay, but first we want to kind of see what you like. So this is the grass. There are so many options. The other thing too is like when you get packs to open, you don't really know what you're gonna get. So I have like 3 of these guys, which are really, really good. But then you can get like so many of these, which aren't that great. So like this guy, for example, he only does 10 damage and it's 60 to take him out. And so the way that it's played, if you end up taking a Pokemon out from the opponent, then you get what is called a reward card, if you will. Alright, so I think that's it for mine. But yeah, these are all the grass Pokemons that I have. I might have more in the bag, but yeah. Oops, I just ripped my cup a little bit. That's okay. Alright. So I'm going to set this aside, and then what you and I can do, we can go ahead and go through some of the decks that I have, and you can decide which type you like, okay? So let's do that. Trainer cards. And then we'll go over trainer cards. And I am no pro by any means, okay? I try to separate these. Okay, so this is psychic. This is we have trainer. This is electric. Wait, no, that's not electric. Some of them do look similar, and I still don't know. This is all. There's my trainer, and you know what we could do too? We could pull out our little cheat sheet. So actually, I'm just gonna take this out. That way, we can look at it as we go, okay? So, kind of try to keep that so you can see it as we go through it. Okay, this one's right here, so we'll just take a look at this one. I believe this is the fairy deck. Oh, there's trainer cards in here. That's okay. Alright. So I'll just kind of give you, move that out of the way for a second. Give you just a little sneak peek. Sorry, there's hair like everywhere. So here's some of the cards. Looks very. This is what the energy looks like. I believe it's fairy. I might have to double check, but because that doesn't seem to be matching. See that? It's not really matching. I could be wrong about that. With more trainer cards. So, because they're right here, I'll go ahead and show you. So you can use, like this trainer card in the game, you can only use one orange trainer card at a time, but you can use as many blue trainer cards as you want. So like back to this one, it says draw 3 cards, so you would use that during your turn, okay? And you always draw a card at the beginning of your turn. There's quite a bit of trainer cards in here. Oh, here's a good one. So you need 2 energy to do 30 damage, and then 3 energy to do 70 plus damage. And let's go ahead and read what it says, okay? So it says, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. And then the Charm Slap is 70 plus. It says, if this Pokemon has a Pokemon Tool card that has a Fairy Charm in its name attached to it, this attack does 70 more damage. That's pretty cool. So this is a fairy deck. I don't know, the symbol just looks different. But anyways, so each one has like its own special attacks. So this is what the fairy looks like. So we can just kind of look at some of them. They're so cute, aren't they? Like, look at that guy. So adorable. I really like this one. Of course, you can have like double, triple, quadruple. So the most popular ones are water, psychic, electric, grass, and fire. Like, I'm pretty sure if you ask anybody, they know fire, Charmander. Water, they probably know Bulbasaur. And then electric, obviously Pikachu. Okay, so that was the fairy deck. And you can always come back to and choose a deck. That's fine. Just kind of get an idea. And you can even go and purchase a bunch of cards and put a bunch together, you know? Okay, let's shut this one. Next, we will move on to, let's do this one. I believe this is dark. Yes. If I wasn't gonna do grass, I would definitely do dark. A dark deck. I don't know why. I really like it. But the weakness is actually grass. That's kind of funny. And they have some really, really cool ones. I like their energy as well. Another high HP, which is a basic. Remember to look at that as well. If it says stage 1, then you need the basic to go with it, okay? Got some more. So this one is a stage 1. So you would need this little guy here to go with this. Which I can see if, I don't know if we had him yet. I don't believe so. Let's set him aside, okay? And we will see if we come across him. Where's the trainer? Okay, this is stage 2. Scoot that over. So then we have one of these again. Okay, so here is the one that you need for this. So you would put this underneath this guy, okay? And then I believe this goes with this one as well. So you have like a full set here. You need 3 energy to do 130 damage. Let's read the ability, okay? It says, as often as you like, during your turn, you may attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. That is such a good card. Yeah, like I said, I would definitely put together a dark deck. And then some of them you will see they don't do any damage, but like no number here. So you have to read, you have to be very careful, you have to read them. So this one, for 1 energy, until the end of your next turn, the defending Pokemon's weakness is now dark. The amount of weakness doesn't change. Okay, and then you have put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you'd like. And we'll get into what damage counters are and everything as well. So then, this guy, that is so cool. I love some of the cards, and that's a basic too, so it's really awesome. I know, I really like the dark deck as well. Just kind of giving you a little idea of each type. We'll put these back. We can look at a couple more. And then, yeah, of course, like you can look up some when you get home. Absolutely. All right, so this one is steel. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll show you steel. And then water, fire, and psychic. Okay. So another V. The other thing you need to know, if you ever knock one of these guys out, you get two, because it'll tell you right here. Says your opponent takes 2 prize cards, so you get 2 cards for taking a guy like this out. This is one of the highest cards I've seen. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other Pokemon. Some of them just look kind of goofy and silly, but some of them are really cool and cute. This one's really cool too. So you kind of get the idea. Here's some other ones. And then we have some repeated ones. You'll get that a lot. You'll get some of the same ones. Here's another one. This one's kind of interesting. And this one. That guy. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of steel, but I know people that are. Alright, next I want to show you fire. I don't think I have a lot of fire right now. Okay. So Eevee is part of fire. This is the stage 1 of Eevee. We have another stage 1. And here's some other ones. Fire is really, really cool. The HP to me is just not it for the cards I personally have here at the shop. But it kind of just depends on what you get, you know? So here's a really cool one. That HP is pretty high. And the weakness is water. So if you're playing up against a water deck, then their damage does double. That one's pretty cool. It's kind of cute. And then this is what the energy looks like for fire, which is really awesome. Next, I will show you water. And then I will show you psychic, and then I will talk to you about damage counters. Okay, so obviously I have a lot here, so we won't go through all of them. Just giving you an idea. Which I see a shiny card, so I want to show that one. Water is also really good. I think I have gotten beat by water decks before. We kind of just pick random decks, my kids and I. But then you have some that are just very basic. And even like the stage 1, they don't do a ton of damage. Not a huge fan of water either. Some of them are really, really cool, but just not my vibe, but other people like them, and I think that's great. That that's what an energy looks like. I wonder if there's another energy in here. There's actually not a lot of water energies in this shop right now. Just the one, so. But again, when you start venturing out, and you can even find a lot on like eBay, even like Facebook Marketplace. All right, now I'm going to show you Psychic. I might show you electric too. We'll see. Okay. Psychic is another one that I would probably make a deck with, just because I like Psychic and Dark and Grass. Here's the energy, which I think is pretty neat. Then you have things like this. Again, just draw a card. You don't do any damage to the opponent. This one says your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. And there's like rules to that as well, and you'll learn that as you go. Let's find a shiny one. Here we go. There's another one with high HP. This one's really cute. I like that one. Oh, another cool energy. I like this guy too. This one's quite adorable as well. Like trying to just imagine them battling in real life. It's kind of amusing. And some cards look different than others. It's just, you know, when they were made and what people prefer. So, and this energy looks different. You see? All right. And the other thing you'll need is a coin. So that is all we are going to look at for cards. And I gave you a rundown of like the trainer cards a little bit. Yeah. So I'm going to set these aside. I'll put these away later. No biggie. Let's go ahead and put this back, and then I'll get the damage counters and everything. But I will show you mine. Do I have one in here? No, that's okay. We're gonna bring my handy dandy book back out. I'm gonna show you. I think I put it way in the back. I did, right here. So, you will need a coin. And we have so many here at the shop, but if you didn't notice, he matches my cover. This is one of my favorite Pokemon. Let's go ahead and put him back, and then I will go get that stuff to show you. Just gonna stick him right in there so I don't lose him. Okay. I believe they are in here. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to show you today, and then you can decide if you want to purchase anything or if you want to, you know, go home, do some research and all of that. So first let's go over damage counters, okay? We have quite a few here in the shop right now. Obviously you have dice and you have little markers, so one or the other, doesn't matter, or you can use both. We typically use both though. This needs to be over there. Okay, so let's say you do 100 damage. You just put a marker on that Pokemon that you're battling. Then there's 50, and then 10. Okay. So having quite a few of these is necessary, but if you have small children, be very careful with both the dice and the markers because they will eat them. But something I like because it's just easier, more convenient, is dice. I don't know, I think I just put all the dice together. Some of them do require dice though, so some cards will say roll a dice or whatever, so this one's really cool too. I think, does this one have anything on it? No, it's just glittery though. Okay, so you have a dice that goes from 10 all the way up to, I believe it's 60, yeah. And then you have a dice that goes from 70 up to 120. And then you have another dice that goes all the way up to 180. And you can use more than one dice at a time. As you can see here, we have several of these. So you can just add, take away. So to lay it out for you, what you're going to need when you're first starting out, you're going to need a board or a sheet, which I can show you if you'd like, or like I said, you can look it up. But you're going to need a deck, and you're going to need counters, and then what you're going to need is a coin. And I know with certain decks they give you a coin with it, but some don't. We have accumulated quite a few. And then there's also markers for if your Pokemon is poisoned. Because some attacks there's poison, and some attacks they're confused or they're sick. Okay, so we have those. But here we have a variety of coins. And if any stand out to you, let me know. It kind of reminds me of Pogs. Did you ever play that? I really like this one. That's fire. Water. That one's hard to tell. I personally like using smaller coins because they're easier to flip, but that's not right or wrong, it's just preference. I really like this one too though. I do want to lay all of them out for you because this is one of the funnest parts, is picking out a coin. I like this one too. This one. And again, you can also look on eBay or even Facebook Marketplace, I'm sure. Or you can go online to even like Amazon. If you don't see any that you like here, I won't be offended. I like this one too. I like this one a lot though. And this one. So yeah. And that's perfectly okay, yeah. I totally understand, like wanting to go home, like come in, get an idea. That's great. I'm just really excited for your journey in the Pokemon world. So let me go ahead and put all of these back. Oh, that one's really cool too. I'm just really excited that you came in. Yeah, no, we don't get a lot of people anymore just because a lot of things are online now. So when I see a new face, oh, I get really, really excited. It's one of my favorite hobbies and games to play. It took me a while to get used to it though. At first when I got the game, I was like, eh. But then once I got the hang of it, it became one of my favorite games to play. And then the other thing real quick that I want to show you, some people, they don't play, they just collect, and that's okay too. Actually, I think I'm going to find a different place for, no, I'll put it back here. So you can get sleeves so that you can put really, really nice cards in, which I'll show you. So you'd have it so the card is here, then it has a really cool back. This is just to protect the cards if you ever just you still want to play with them, but you don't want to ruin them. I definitely recommend getting protective sleeves. They come in a lot of different styles right now. These are the two styles that we have. Okay. I'm gonna put these back if I can. So something else to kind of look into. If you'd like, I can make you a list really quick. Yeah, of course. So, yeah, I put everything on my notepad. So first thing is first is you want to pick a Pokemon type that you like. So type or types, I'll do, parentheses S. So you want to put together a deck or purchase a deck. And then you want to get counters as well as coins, and then sleeves and a game mat. That's optional. You can look online or game board setup. Sometimes we don't even use the board anymore because we just want to do quick rounds. But I can show you the game board real quick. Why don't we do that, and then I will give that to you in a minute. Okay. we'll just open this up real quick. And this actually came with 3 decks. Alright. So, as if you and I were playing, sorry, it's going to be kind of difficult to see. So, this is what your bench looks like. You can have 5 Pokemon on a bench, as many in your hand. This is where your prize cards go, and this is where your deck goes, and then your discard pile goes, okay? So this is where your active Pokemon is going to go, right here. And this is where mine is going to go. I always have mine for some reason facing the other person, but they can do it however they wish. And same on the other side. So if we were in a battle, I would have 5 here. Let's say I have a basic and then I have a stage 1, I would put it on top of that basic, and then you'd keep the energy cards, and I would just apply energy, and then I would prepare for an active Pokemon. Does that make a little bit of sense? And then if I take out one of your, sorry, it goes over here, one of your Pokemon, then I would get a prize card. Okay? So it's really helpful to have a game board so that you can kind of get the habit of where the deck goes, the discard piles, the prize cards, and how many on the bench. It looks really intimidating, but I promise you it's not once you kind of get the hang of it. Does that make sense? Oops. Put that back. Okay, so what are your thoughts so far? Yeah, are you getting excited or are you a little intimidated? I understand that completely. Yeah, no worries at all. I'm not going to judge you because when I first started, like I said, I was like, what is all of this? I still don't know all the Pokemons. Of course, there's way too many. I still don't know all of the types, if you will. Like, I've seen them and I have a lot of them, but I pretty much have just kind of stuck to what I like, so no judgment here. I've just kind of learned quite a bit just from having the shop, to be honest. So anyways, yeah, like I said, let's put together a list for you, kind of, you know, get an idea. I'm going to write in here, like, look online, how to, and types. Just get a feel for, you know, what kind you like and what stands out to you the most, and go from there. Yeah? Okay. Let me get this for you to take with you, okay? I'm so excited for you. And if you have any questions, hold on, do I have any? I do have business cards. I'll put one of my business cards in here for you, okay? You can give me a call. You can ask me questions anytime, okay? Well, here, that's for you. All right. Did you have any other questions for me? Okay, well, it was lovely to meet you, and I really hope I get to see you again soon, okay? All right, you take care. Have fun with it. All right. Bye.